Good evening, dear viewers, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Daily Debate. I'm your host for tonight, Muhammad Abdurrahim, and tonight we'll be talking about the deep-rooted Egyptian-Greek relations, the bilateral relations, how they have evolved in recent years, and what areas of cooperation have seen the most development, and what future areas of cooperation are incoming: energy and defense cooperation, regional security coordination, economic interests, of course, big cultural and historic ties between Egypt and Greece, and this is in light of His Excellency's visit, the President's visits to Athens on Wednesday, where President Sisi participated in the 9th round of the Egyptian-Greek Cypriot summit within the framework of the tripartite cooperation mechanism that was launched in 2014. Also, of course, the Egypt-Cyprus relations will be highlighted here tonight, distinct relations, and we are happy to have with us here in the studio Minister Plenipotentiary, member of the Egypt UN Assembly, Dr. Mongy Ali Badr. A very good evening to you, Dr. Badr. Thank you for being with us.
Good evening for you and your viewer. It's again my pleasure and the honor to be with you to discuss this very important visit for His Excellency President Sisi, and also to give more light about after he arrived to Moscow.
Right, Dr. Badr, so we start with our top story for the night, and as you indicated, Dr. Badr, it is about His Excellency's visit to Moscow, as President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi arrived in the Russian capital on Thursday, and that's to participate in the celebrations marking the 80th anniversary of Victory Day in World War II, at the invitation of Russian President Vladimir Putin, and so the significance of this visit and the participation of Egypt in these celebrations will also be discussed tonight here in the episode, as His Excellency the President is in Moscow to participate in the celebrations of the 80th anniversary of Victory Day in World War II at the invitation of Russian President Vladimir Putin. All right, welcome back. Dr. Badr, dear viewers, before we do anything, as we always do in the show, let's watch a report talking about the main topic here for tonight.
Let me please give a glimpse about after the arrival of His Excellency, Mr. President Sisi, to Moscow. This reflects the strategic partnership between Egypt and Russia. Number two, we admit as Egyptians that we already have very unique bilateral relation with ex-Soviet Union and with Russia now. Also, we admit again about the help of Russian government to Egypt in energy, defense, industry, because as you know that Russia, it has 2 industrial zones in Egypt. Also, this give you a very important signal about Mr. Sisi himself, that he is a man, he is a human being, and he is a leader of great country like Egypt, that although the threat of Mr. Zelensky, but he is very brave man, and he decided to go with 29 leaders. They are going to participate in this anniversary number 80. As you know, that the ex-Soviet Russian troops, they were the first troop come in to West Germany or to Germany, and they are the first to arrive to Berlin, and after that they followed by Western troops. So who is the key army? It was ex-Soviet Union. So Russian people, they have the right to celebrate this. They have the right to celebrate this according to their tradition, and in fact we are very optimistic about the bilateral relation. It goes further and further and in many aspects and field from day to another day. Again, it's very important message
Indeed.
to the other leader that Egypt, we never forget any country help Egypt.
Of course,
So,
Russia, a long time friend from way back, I mean decades ago, a long time friend of Egypt and the ex-Soviet Union. Dr. Badr, dear viewers, now let's watch a report about the deep-rooted Egyptian-Greek relations and about His Excellency the President's visit to Athens on Wednesday to participate in the 9th round of the Egypt-Greece-Cyprus summit.
The 9th Egypt-Greece-Cyprus Trilateral Summit reaffirmed the strong political will of 3 Mediterranean nations to strengthen their strategic cooperation. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis, and Cypriot President Nikos Christodoulidis came together in Cairo to continue their collective vision for peace, stability and development in the Eastern Mediterranean. One of the central themes of the summit was energy. The leaders emphasized accelerating joint projects such as the Euro-Africa Interconnector and the Eastern Mediterranean Gas Forum, the EMGF, aiming to transform the region into a hub for energy supply to Europe. They also discussed expanding cooperation in renewable energy, particularly solar and wind, with Egypt serving as a regional energy exporter. Trade and investment also featured prominently. Agreements were reviewed to boost joint ventures in tourism, shipping, agriculture and infrastructure. The leaders reiterated their commitment to counter-terrorism, maritime security and military cooperation. Joint naval drills and defense coordination continue to enhance their collective ability to address regional threats. They also issued a unified stance on the importance of respecting international maritime law, particularly in response to regional disputes and violations in the Eastern Mediterranean. The summit touched on regional challenges, including the Palestinian cause, the conflict in Libya, and migration management. The 3 leaders emphasized the importance of political solutions, non-intervention and adherence to international law. They also expressed continued support for Cyprus' sovereignty and territorial integrity in light of ongoing tensions in the region. Cultural diplomacy remains an important aspect of the trilateral relationship. The summit included discussions on deepening academic cooperation, heritage preservation and cultural exchange initiatives that promote people-to-people connectivity. The 9th round of the Egypt-Greece-Cyprus summit reinforced a model of regional cooperation rooted in mutual respect, shared interests and a common vision for peace and development. As the world faces new geopolitical and economic challenges, the trilateral alliance continues to present a unified Mediterranean front.
All right, welcome back, dear viewers, and many thanks to Manal Al-Ibyari and Khaled Abdelbari for this report. We're back here in the studio with Dr. Mongy Ali Badr, Minister Plenipotentiary and the member of the Egypt UN Assembly, UN Association Egypt. Dr. Badr, the significance of the official visit by His Excellency the President to Greece in the current geopolitical climate. There is a very tense geopolitical climate in the region.
Okay, Ryan, please don't complicate your point. Let us start point by point. Number one, the traditional or strategic relation between Egypt and Greece. In fact, there are around 4 fields that we concentrate to develop the bilateral relation. Number 1, energy. Number 2, defense. Number 3, migration. Number 4, related to economic relation, to boost or to develop trade, investment and employment opportunities. And let me jump to energy sector. Energy and defense agreement and joint initiative, energy cooperation. Let me read this paragraph because it's very important in the strengthening bilateral relation between Egypt and Greece, not only Greece but also all Europe. That undersea power cable project, both nations reaffirmed their commitment to 3,000 megawatt undersea. They are with volume of as I mentioned 3,000 megawatt. The length of this cable, it will be 1,000 kilometer. And electricity interconnection designed to transport renewable energy. Again, we should underline renewable energy, not normal energy, from North Africa to Europe. And this project cost around $4 billion and is supported by European Union, and we expected European Union to pay 50% from the total cost. So Egypt and Greece are going to pay €2 billion, and the EU Commission in Brussels are going to pay €2 billion. And this expected this cable to work within 5 years from now. So it's a very promising project. Number 2, that the impact of Egypt-Greece partnership on Eastern Mediterranean, it's very dynamic, the relation Egypt-Greece, and we should add Cyprus.
I guess we have to mention here, since you talked about the cooperation in the field of energy, the important fact of drawing maritime lines in the and borders in the Mediterranean. You know, Egypt, Greece, and Cyprus. A lot of cooperation there, and of course this is not targeting anybody. It's just preserving the rights of Egypt, Greece and Cyprus in Mediterranean waters. It has to do with energy.
Thank you very much for this point. It's a very sensitive point. But let me tell you, we would like, or they would like, with Egypt to consider Egypt as a hub for energy. This, it doesn't mean that you should be a big producer of oil and natural gas and renewable energy. No. It means that they trust you, that you keep your promise, and you are going to fulfill with your contract, and you will be a strategic partner to Europe. This one side of what we used to mention, that foreign policy of Egypt, it's a very balanced between north, south, east, west. So, but we prove in this point that we are very trustable country. Let me go back to the relation again between Egypt and Greek. How about for migration? Egypt has significantly curtailed irregular migration from its north coast. You know, since 2016, nobody illegal boat sailed from our north border. From 2016, so at least now 9 years. However, a recent surge in migration arrived to Greek island highlights the need to continue cooperation between Egypt and Greece. This number one. And by the way, Egypt doesn't request for money to control the migration, all illegal migration. But we consider this, it's one of our duty to our neighbor in north of Mediterranean Sea, that we should fulfill what we promised before, that we didn't allow any illegal boat to sail from our north.
Indeed,
border.
Dr. Badr, and this falls within the framework of regional security cooperation.
Yes.
And of course there is also cooperation in maritime security, and that has to do with preventing migration from flowing into Europe, and also combating terrorism. So there's joint cooperation in combating terrorism, and I guess there is big cooperation between Egypt, Greece and Cyprus in the security file.
I agree with you. Shall we move to trade and investment?
Yes. Defense cooperation first, if you allow me, because there is also defense cooperation.
Related defense cooperation, it's a very specific defense agreement. Were not detailed during the visit, as you know. It has some secret items, and the strategic partnership encompasses plans to enhance military collaboration, including number one, training, exercise and intelligence sharing to address regional security threat. Again, to address regional security threats. And as you mentioned, it's not against any country in our area. It's for the interest of Egypt and Greek.
And Cyprus.
And Cyprus, of course. No, in fact, it's for all nations around Mediterranean, even they are north in Europe or south in Arab countries.
Before we get into the economic file, because it's a big file, what about the importance of the cooperation between Egypt, Greece and Cyprus, and how it affects what's called Eastern Mediterranean dynamics? So the balance of power, the interest.
In fact, it's since we started this trilateral alliance of Egypt, Greece and Cyprus, it was every day there is a development, and this allies, in fact, collective approach to addressing regional challenge. As you know, that we are in the big challenge regionally and globally, and we try to minimize the threats and the disadvantage of this tension. Number two, we choose as the three countries in Mediterranean region that we choose peace. We choose diplomatic channel to settle down all disputes, and this it's a very important attitude for the three countries. Also we promote energy integration and ensuring maritime security, and also coordination on regional security in Middle East and Eastern Mediterranean development. That again, it's a message to all our neighbors that we concentrate in economic development, we concentrate to conclude peace, and also we try to avoid any disputes. We try to settle down the disputes and to avoid war by all means.
Dr. Badr, there is a big cooperation between Egypt and Greece and Cyprus economically. So what can you tell us about this visit and the previous investments, the joint investments between the three countries, and whether we are going to see an increase in these investments and trade agreements and memoranda of understandings in the near future?
But before, would you consider Greece as a bridge between Egypt and Europe?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Just like Egypt is a bridge between Greece and Africa.
As a big gate to Africa. Yes, yes. And also, let me explain more about this point, that it's not only Greece, but Italy. You know, most of our export to Europe, it go to Europe through Italy and through its harbors there. So now we try to diversify our destination. It would be through Holland, France, Italy, Greece. This, it's...
Well, Greece is the closest.
No.
I mean, geography dictates, doesn't it?
It's very close, yes.
Yes.
But you know, if your customer in Switzerland, if in Hungary...
I mean, it's the closest to Egypt.
Of course.
And historically, I mean...
Yes, of course. It's a big story.
There's been such big ties between Egyptian civilization and the Greek civilization.
Yes,
I mean, historically for thousands of years.
Yes, you are right. There is a similarity in civilization. There is similarity in history, and also even the tradition of Greek people and Egyptian people. Yani we have much in common, in fact. And so it will. It's very easy to Greek to live in Alexandria, and also for us. Yani,
we share a lot of common values.
Yes, yes, you are right. You are right.
And traditions.
It's the very right direction, that we should intensify the relation with our neighbor in north of Mediterranean countries. What we have now, it's good, but it's not enough. So why we didn't go to free zone? Why we didn't go to allow the movement of workers between south and north of Europe? And in fact, Europe, it has a problem with population, so we can compensate with Egyptian, especially Egyptian, because as you mentioned, that we have much in common. So our tradition is very close to them, and even Egyptians themselves, they like to go to Europe. So I think during the negotiation yesterday with the Prime Minister of Greece, they already agreed for 5,000 Egyptian workers to go to Greece and for work there. So I hope in future we can increase the number, and we can have a similar agreement with Italy, France, Spain, Germany, Holland, Hungary, and all these countries. This it's very, because of what? Because we have advantage in this area, employment. We have very
skilled,
yes,
the useful labor.
Yeah, and we have, you know, Egyptian society, we have 65 or 70%, they are young. So we can use this advantage to export our human being, or our youth,
our skilled labor.
Yeah, of course, they are skills, they are close in tradition, and in the meantime, we are very tolerance-related religion. So I think if we increase the number of youth to go to Europe, it doesn't have any problem in the society, because you know, Egyptian people, they would like to work, and in the meantime they would like to go back to their home. Yeah, we are not like other countries to go there to have a residence or to have the nationalities. No, Egyptian prefer to go to work, and at the end of the day they would like to go back to Egypt. And this it's advantage to Europe, and also it's a big advantage to Egyptian side. Let me go to what you like, economic and the trade relation. Let me summarize the situation,
please.
As we mentioned, that electricity interconnection, it's a very important project. And as I mentioned at the beginning, that European Union Commission, they are going to pay 50% from the total cost, and the total cost it's 4 billion euro. And this project will be end within 5 years from now. Related trade relation between Egypt and Greece, the total volume of trade, it's $1.6 billion. We export by around 1.1, and we import from Greece with $564 million. So the balance of trade in favor of Egypt. And it's the first country in Europe which the balance of trade in favor of Egypt. This is a very good point. The number two, how about joint venture or investment between Egypt and Greece? Greece side, they investing in Egypt with around $256 million. And the number of Greek countries, it's 226 Greek companies working in Egypt at the field of service and also real estate, and also some countries they are working in industry. From our side, Egypt also invest in Greek, but our investment in Greek, it's not big, it's around $40 million, and all our investment in Greek in real estate sector. This it's a glimpse about the relation in economic and trade field.
Okay. Dr. Badr, before we proceed, we still have a lot of points we want to cover regarding the deep-rooted Egyptian-Greek relations, but let's watch another report, the second and final report here in the program about the 9th Egypt-Greece Cyprus trilateral summit. Please stay with us.
In recent years, the strategic relationship between Egypt and Greece has seen remarkable growth, driven by shared interests in stability, security and development in the Eastern Mediterranean. Egypt and Greece maintain regular high-level meetings with visits between presidents and foreign ministers, strengthening bilateral ties. The two countries coordinate on regional issues, including the situation in Libya, the Middle East peace process and migration policies. They are also part of the trilateral cooperation mechanism with Cyprus, a diplomatic platform fostering joint initiatives. The military cooperation between Egypt and Greece has significantly expanded. Joint naval and air exercises such as Medusa reflect a growing synergy aimed at securing the Eastern Mediterranean and enhancing counter-terrorism capabilities. Intelligence sharing and maritime security coordination have also intensified. Energy cooperation is a cornerstone of the Egypt-Greece partnership. Both countries are working together on major projects like the Euro-Africa Interconnector, a submarine power cable linking the electricity grids of Egypt, Cyprus and Greece. Egypt is also becoming a key gas exporter to Europe, with Greece serving as a critical gateway. Economically, bilateral trade is on the rise, and investment flows are encouraged in sectors like shipping, construction and tourism. Business forums and chambers of commerce continue to strengthen commercial ties. The shared Mediterranean heritage fosters rich cultural ties. Greece and Egypt collaborate in archaeology, academia and tourism promotion. Greek schools operate in Egypt and student exchange programs enrich mutual understanding. Both nations play active roles in international organizations, supporting multilateralism and rule-based order. Their cooperation contributes to broader stability in the Mediterranean and Africa, setting an example of peaceful bilateral engagement. From strategic defense cooperation to cultural exchange, Egypt and Greece are shaping a future of mutual prosperity and security. Their partnership is not just bilateral, It's a cornerstone of Mediterranean unity in a rapidly changing world. A partnership built on shared interests and regional responsibility. Egypt and Greece are proving that diplomacy, when backed by action, can shape a better future for their people and their region.
All right, thank you again, Manal Lebieri and Khaled Abdelbari for this report, and we're back here with Minister Plenipotentiary Dr. Mongy Ali Badr in the studio. Dr. Badr, as we also saw in this report, I mean, deep-rooted Egyptian-Greek relations. I want to ask you about the Egypt-EU relations and how might Greece, you mentioned the bridge, perhaps in the field of economy. What about the political domain? So how might Greece act as a bridge between Egypt and the EU politically regarding foreign policy, just like Egypt can act as a bridge for Greece in Africa, in the EU, for instance?
Let me thank our colleague who prepared this report. It's in fact a very good report about the relation, and related the trilateral alliance or the meeting between Egypt, Greece and Cyprus. In fact, this it's a collective approach to addressing regional challenge, promoting energy integration, and in the meantime ensuring maritime security. I would like to add that we would like to develop relation in culture, tourism, and also an exchange of vocational training between the three countries. The most important point, shall we consider Cyprus and Greece as a bridge to Europe? Yes. Shall they support us? Yes, sir. Cyprus and Greece, they support us very strongly to push the European Parliament and the EU Commission in Brussels to agree about the loan of around $8 billion or 7.2 billion euro. They are the engine to push other European countries to agree about this loan. So this collaboration between Egypt, Cyprus, Greece, is it very important to Egypt? Yes, it's very important.
So we are seeing now an evolving of geopolitical alliances in the region, and in the Eastern Mediterranean at least. And Egypt, Greece and Cyprus, I mean, have been developing their relations for 10 years now, maybe, or more.
Related to this point, in fact,
with a fast pace, I mean, the fast pace in the past 10 years or so.
Cyprus, it's very important to Egypt, not only from 10 years, it's from long time. Number two, Greece also, it's very important and a very close country to Egypt. So if you follow,
of course, the meeting, they have always been important to Egypt, and Egypt important to them. But I just meant that in the past 10 years or so, we're seeing a very fast pace of evolvement of the relationship.
This depends on presidential diplomacy. This Mr. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, he used to go by himself to negotiate, to visit and negotiate, and also to follow the conclusion. So this, it's one of the dimension of his policy, that he preferred to go by himself, he preferred to discuss directly, he preferred to use his personal skills to convince other parties about what he needs exactly. Number two, this trilateral collaboration, it's very important, because of what? To make balance with some other power in the region. Number three, we try, Egypt, Greece and Cyprus, we try to avoid any sensitive topics even for Cyprus or Greece or Egypt. So we concentrate in economic trade, tourism, culture aspect, and also in maritime sector. What I have been informed later that we are going to set up Roro ship line between Bursaid or Alexandria and Greece port, like what we did with Italy. We call it Roro. It will be Roro with Italy, another Roro with Greece. This it will facilitate the movement of Egyptian export from Egypt to south of Europe, and in the meantime it's a very cheap way to increase or to enlarge the competition of Egyptian export in the market of Greece and neighboring countries to Greece. Let me add something about economic benefit of energy initiative, as we explained before, that undersea power cable project is poised to benefit both economies by creating jobs. This is number one. Number two, attracting investment. Number three, positioning Egypt as a renewable energy hub for Greece. And the benefit for Greece, it would be, it offer a strategic role in energy transit to Europe. So we are going to use it as a gate to Europe in field of energy, and also enhancing its geopolitical significance in Europe. So we would like to conclude this point related to energy, that it will be benefit for Egypt and benefit for Greece. This, it will help both countries to play very active role in diplomacy. When we have commercial dispute or political dispute, we can settle down this very beautiful. Because of what? Because we have joint interests, and we have benefit for Egypt and Greece. So when we have any decision to stop or to sustain the relation, no, there is any interest which stop me to take any decision again to my interest.
And back to the trilateral summit again, I mean, the leaders of the three countries reiterated their commitment to counter-terrorism, maritime security and military cooperation. They also issued a unified stance on the importance of respecting international maritime law. The summit also touched on regional challenges, including the just Palestinian cause, the conflict in Libya,
Sudan, Yemen.
I mean, Greece and Cyprus are very close to us, to occupied Palestine, to Libya, and it also, of course, touched upon the or expressed support for Cyprus's sovereignty and territorial integrity. And the three leaders emphasized the importance of political solutions, non-intervention, and adherence to international law, which seems to be the basic guidelines that are forming the political sphere of these three countries. Political solutions, non-intervention, adherence to international law.
These are rules of foreign policy of Egypt, Greece and Cyprus. No interfere, no war, no conflict, no disputes, and they put the best role for them to follow diplomacy, to follow peaceful ways, to settle down. And in fact, here also I can add something, that there is a joint military exercise between the three countries, and the intelligence sharing, and this, it's very important. You know that if you have the information, you have the power now in our recent life. Also,
naval drills, right? Naval drills.
Yes. And also the focusing, as you mentioned, in counter-terrorism, maritime security, and crisis response. Related to Libya, in fact, the Greek situation, it's a very near to Egyptian situation, and this is support to us is that all Libyans should sit together to settle down their disputes, and also we do like the war, and we do like conflict between the brothers in one country. Related to Sudan, also the same situation. For Syria, it's very important for Cyprus, as you know, and Greece. And I hope the visit of the president of Syria to France to have a good conclusion, and also to give lessons and the message to our brother in Syria to solve these disputes peacefully, and in the meantime to move from war and conflict to economic development.
Indeed.
And in the meantime, we call our brother in Libya, in Syria, to go back to their home to rebuild their home there. And in the meantime, Libya, it's very important to us. We don't want to divide this country, because division, it's not good for them or for us. But
never is.
And also Sudan, it's a message to our brother in Sudan that to stop,
very volatile situation there.
To stop this conflict. And
sad and tragic, especially that the civilians, I mean, are the ones who are bearing the brunt. I mean,
it's a disaster.
Tens of millions of civilians.
The big disaster for
displaced
Sudan
and
displaced,
suffering from
and also
malnutrition,
killing of children and women, and in the meantime destroying their infrastructure. This it's a disaster, and we hope that no one gain from war. And also we hope that very soon they can have one government and one army, and in the meantime to have one goal, to achieve their goal.
Save their country.
Peacefully, We don't want to go back to conflict, especially military conflict again. And in the meantime, Egypt, it's a very balanced, its relation between north, south, east and west. And what we can follow now, that we have a very balanced foreign policy, and also our instrument, it's very balanced, especially in economic ties.
Absolutely. Just 1 minute left, Dr. Badr. Cultural diplomacy.
Yes.
And the shared heritage between Egypt, Greece, and Cyprus. Can we just talk about this in the final minute that we have?
Yeah, in fact, with culture, as we mentioned, that there is a similarity between our history and the Greek history. Number two, we have a lot of monuments, and they have the same. And also the old history by Cleopatra and by Bibliotheca in Alexandria, you know, that this proof that it's a very deep relation between Egypt and the Greek. And for the time being, if we have a strategic relation, one of the reasons we have this strategic relation that is the history. Number two, Greece, in fact, it's a very peaceful country, and like Egypt, and they prefer diplomatic solution, and they concentrate for economic development. Yeah, there is a similarity again also in economic policies and also in culture. Let me conclude this with you, that both nations, Egypt and Greece, recognize the potential of culture tourism. This is what I would like, tourism. It's tourism. And strengthen their economies and bilateral relations by promoting tours that highlight shared historical ties and narratives. Egypt and Greece aim to attract tourists interested in exploring the rich, interconnected histories of the two civilizations. This multi-phased effort reflects the repose of dynamic partnership between Egypt and Greece, rooted in profound respect of their shared culture, heritage, and mutual commitment. It's preservation and the promotion of modern era and the modern relation between Egypt and Greece.
And perhaps there are none richer in history, archaeology, monuments than the Egyptian and the Greek civilizations.
Agreed.
Dr. Mongy Ali Badr, Minister Plenipotentiary and member of UN Association Egypt, thank you very much.
It's my pleasure. And good night for you and your viewers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, dear viewers, for watching us. Please stay with Nile TV.